Well, I hope to God that eventually we find out that maybe Caitlin Clark was asked to do this and maybe she said no. Because if that's not the case, then the WNBA and the Players Association, the WNBA PA, and the league, to be honest, continue to disrespect the far and away biggest draw that this women's hoops league's got that they've ever seen.
Imagine leading the league, breaking records, and packing arenas, only to be left out of a major merchandise launch like you're just starting out. That's what just happened to Caitlin Clark. The WNBA Players Union chose Aya Wilson and Angel Reese instead of her for a new merch campaign, and it's got the internet buzzing. Now, people are asking, was this a smart strategy, a personal jab, or just a PR misstep? Whatever it is, it's making waves, and everyone's watching.
Jealousy and sheer incompetence are going to be the three main reasons why the WNBA never reaches the popularity, never reaches the shine that they think they deserve. Stubbornness, incompetence, and jealousy are going to be the reasons why Caitlin Clark remains at the mountaintop and nobody else ends up even being close to joining her up there. And it's all the WNBA, the players, the executives, Kathy Engelbert. It is all their fault. They're far too jealous. They're far too stubborn. And from a business sense, they are all far too incompetent. What am I talking about?
They could have made it simple. Give Caitlin Clark the spotlight she's earned, a top spot in the campaign, and let the sold-out merch speak for itself. But instead, the WNBA Players Union made a move that felt less like teamwork and more like a statement. When they launched their new merchandise line and left out the league's biggest draw, maybe ever, it didn't go unnoticed. This wasn't just a missed opportunity. To many, it looked like a deliberate snub, wrapped in the name of unity but fueled by something else entirely.
Their biggest draw, their biggest revenue churner, the biggest ratings, viewership draw, attendance draw, if it's a draw, Caitlin Clark's bringing them in droves and lined up to come in the door. I'm awaiting a record, some kind of a record rating for her return the other day against the Liberty. I'm awaiting for that viewership rating to come in for television. I got a question. If you were going to market a product and the WNBA was going to be officially involved in it, would Caitlin Clark not be the number one overall draft pick that you would have? Well, to the Players Association and the people involved with it, I guess not. And this is baffling to me. It's terrible business. It is failed business.
It's not like Caitlin Clark was too busy sinking long-range shots or signing baby gear. The truth is, she was never even invited to be part of the campaign, and let's be real, if she had been, her merch would have flown off the shelves before most people had their morning coffee. As for the others? Their gear might have sat around in online carts, untouched, kind of like that one gum flavor nobody ever picks.
WNBA Players Union chooses Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark in social media posts. Now, to be fair to Angel Reese, it wasn't just Angel Reese. It was everybody not named Caitlin Clark. It was everybody the old guard thinks is a star, not named Caitlin Clark. This is absolutely pathetic, absolutely embarrassing, and we are going to show you why momentarily. WNBA's Players Union chooses Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark in social media post originally appeared on Athlon Sports. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark and Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese have not exactly had fortunate starts to the 2025 WNBA season.
So here we are at the start of the 2025 WNBA season, and that's where the tension begins. It's not that Caitlin Clark is too controversial. It's not even that she's too new. The real issue? She's too successful. Her jerseys are flying off shelves like they're exclusive concert merch. She's packing arenas, boosting TV ratings, and bringing more eyes to the league than ever before. From a business standpoint, everything looks great. The numbers speak for themselves. But the emotions behind the scenes? That's where it gets tricky, because if Caitlin's gear is selling out instantly while others struggle to move, then the message stops being about unity, and starts becoming about hard truths, and that's the part some folks aren't ready to face.
I'm just in shock. I'm in shock. So you've got a lot of the biggest names in the entire WNBA here. You've got Aja, you've got Kelsey Plum, you've got Paige Beckers, you've got Angel Reese, you've got Fee, you've got Cameron Brink, you've got Sabrina. So you've got a lot of the bigger names, if not the biggest names in the entire WNBA right here. And who's not there? It's Caitlin Clark. And if you guys have not seen this right here, FM Cases and the WNBPA. The WNBPA. So this is 3 days old. I got sent this email today. I actually, in fairness, I did see a tweet, not including the most popular player. This is how much they hate Caitlin misspelled.
The whole league acted like the wave of change didn't even happen. It's like throwing a pizza party but forgetting the cheese because you don't want to upset the crust. Here's the truth. The crust doesn't make the pizza, Caitlin Clark is the flavor. And the league just tried to tell everyone that flavor doesn't count if it doesn't fit their story. This isn't about race or who can dunk during warm-ups. It's about what happens when someone breaks through with pure talent and hard work, shaking up the old way of doing things. The league saw Caitlin coming, but they didn't want her to show up. Now that she's here, they're stumbling to handle it without admitting she's changed the game. So what's their move? A quiet, passive way of pushing her out, while playing it safe. That's why Aya Wilson and Angel Reese got the spotlight instead.
They've the exact abuse that they're giving Caitlin Clark right now to Sabrina Ionescu. Like, let's be real, you can look. You read what some of these things are said about Sabrina Ionescu before Caitlin Clark walked in the league, but now they have the new bully victim. And it's so funny looking at it where you're like, all these, it's so clear that these people, it's just an anti-Caitlin people, because it's like an enemy of my enemy is my friend, where it's like, they are these individual pages where you look at the players they hype up, and Paige Beckers, and by the way, by all accounts, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark are friends. They'll have their profile's Angel Reese, and the players they're going to hype up is Paige Beckers because she is a rival to Caitlin Clark. And let's be real, that's an actual rivalry. Paige Beckers is really damn good.
But let's be honest, this choice wasn't an accident. It was made to keep things balanced in the merch game. Even if that meant ignoring the player who would sell more than everyone else combined. Because heaven forbid a rookie white girl from Iowa make the others look like clearance rack leftovers. The sad truth? This isn't just a missed chance, it's a reflection of the league's own doubts. They want growth, attention, and money, but only on their own terms. Caitlin Clark doesn't follow their playbook. She showed up, scored big, and accidentally exposed how the system really works. Instead of riding that success, they're trying to sink the boat, while still smiling for the cameras. This is the kind of move where someone flips the chessboard halfway through the game and then claims they won. The league might say this was about diversity or representation, or use any buzzword to make the exclusion sound okay, but everyone saw what really happened. You don't bench your best player in the name of inclusion. That's not smart strategy, it's sabotage dressed up as goodwill, and if this was really about fairness, Caitlin Clark would have been front and center as the star she is. Instead, what we got was a quiet message: you can be great, but not too great, not too fast, and not too loud. It's the same old story we've seen before. Caitlin Clark just shrugged it off and kept winning.
Caitlin Clark had another, whatever you want to call it, confrontation in a WNBA game. Like, why is this happening? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. What other sports analogies are out there that are in any way similar to the impact that one individual has had on a larger sporting universe? Tiger was...
Is it normal to see this level of confrontation in a WNBA game? Why is it happening now? I have to admit, I underestimated the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Honestly, I didn't expect her to make such a huge impact in college basketball or the WNBA this quickly. Are there any other sports moments or players that compare to the kind of influence she's having right now?
I don't know what exact... So one player with people in the seats you don't include. It genuinely seems like everybody going mad about this. So this only started happening around the last day. But at the end of the day, look, the WNBPA can do whatever they want, I guess. And if this case is with the WNBPA, as far as I'm aware, players' rights are not done separately. I think the WNBPA come to an agreement, can come to like mass agreements like what they did with NBA 2K. With this saying it was an agreement with the WNBPA, knowing how the negotiations work with NBA 2K, with the players associations and stuff, and again, I could be very wrong with this, but I don't think this is something that'll be on an individual by individual basis. I hope I'm wrong.
In sports, there's always been this unspoken rule: be amazing, but don't outshine the veterans. Break records, but keep it low-key. Sell tickets, but don't make anyone else feel overshadowed. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark keeps showing up, smiling, and sinking threes from way beyond the line. She's the storm they can't catch, and instead of rolling with it, they're trying to patch things up with PR fixes. It's almost funny, like denying there's a fire while standing right in front of a burning scoreboard, and every time she shines on the court, the silence from some corners just grows louder, not because she's wrong, but because she's impossible to ignore. Here's the irony: the snub only made her bigger. The merch campaign was supposed to sideline her, but instead it became a perfect example of how not to treat your most valuable player. Fans saw it. Sponsors saw it. The media saw it. The only ones who pretended not to notice were the same people who thought this would fly under the radar. Spoiler, it didn't. It dunked on them, but instead of focusing on the simple math of success, the league got caught up in politics. Rather than embracing a once-in-a-generation moment, they handed out participation trophies. Instead of riding the wave Caitlin created, they acted like it wasn't happening, like fans can't see with their own eyes, or check jersey sales online, or tell the difference between true talent and a forced equality. So let's be honest, this wasn't a mistake. It wasn't bad timing or a mix-up. This was on purpose, and the message was loud and clear: you can break records, just don't break the rules they've set.
Her first game back against the Liberty, where she scored 25 points in the first half, had LeBron James tweeting about her, and also sending her direct messages, apparently. They beat the Liberty, who was previously undefeated, 9-0. The game Saturday afternoon on ABC, and 21 million people watched the game. Now, according to Nielsen, that is the most watched WNBA game. Now, this all comes on the heels of ratings being down, viewership being down 55%. I want to get this exactly right. I have this all written down here. Lucky for you guys. So this story broke last week, but I want to weave it all in as we talk about this topic. Nationally televised WNBA viewership is down 55% since Caitlin Clark's injury.
She rewrote the rules, and that's exactly why she's being left out of a campaign that should have had her front and center. If Caitlin had been part of the merch launch, the sales numbers would have told the real story, and that truth might have bruised a few egos. So instead, they acted like her success was just a fluke, like she accidentally stumbled into the WNBA and somehow ended up with 1 million fans. But the only thing Caitlin Clark stumbled on was the fragile system designed to keep things the same. And here's the thing: the fans aren't fooled. They see who's scoring the points, changing the game, and bringing the energy. They see who's got the talent, the charisma, and the spotlight. No fancy marketing or forced stories can hide the fact that Caitlin Clark is the moment. The league can either step up and embrace her, or keep missing the chance to grow. At this rate, Caitlin might as well consider heading to a Euro League team, because the WNBA has made it pretty clear they don't want her shining in their spotlight. The league's best-selling, record-breaking, arena-filling, ratings-boosting star is being treated like an understudy, while two of the least popular players are pushed as the future faces of the league. Her first game back against the Liberty showed it all. Clip 10. Then there's the WNBA's attempt at forced star power, two players who've earned more eye rolls than cheers thanks to non-stop media hype and off-court drama. But when it came time for the Players Union to launch a merch campaign that could have really taken off, who did they choose? The pair whose jerseys barely sell even in their own home states. It's almost impressive how committed they are to ignoring what's obvious. Caitlin Clark is the most popular athlete in America right now. And yes, that includes the NBA stars throwing down dunks, the football players on Sunday, and even the ones striking poses on magazine covers. She is the moment, the culture, the algorithm, the name even your grandma knows.